Welcome back, America. We're here with my good friend John Yoo, who's a great professor at UC Berkeley, at least for now, and former Deputy Assistant Attorney General. If they ever go after you there, John, and you need a good lawyer, I'll represent you. But in any event,
thank you.
I want to talk about this open assault on the Constitution of the United States. And you know, it's interesting to me, John Yoo, is it's not just the Democratic Socialists of America. It's the Democrat Party. Before the Democratic Socialists of America were barking and screeching and all the rest, we had Hakeem Jeffries, we had Elizabeth Warren, we had Chris Murphy, we had Ro Khanna, or whatever his name is. We had the whole crowd there going on and on about killing the Electoral College, killing the independence of the Supreme Court by increasing it and packing it, creating a Politburo, killing with the way we as individuals vote, and I could go on and on and on. You've had Schumer in the past going after the First Amendment, trying to knock that out. You've had them constantly going after the Second Amendment, trying to knock that out. So it's not just the Democratic Socialists of America, even though they're more Trotskyite. In other words, they're very ideological. They're very open about speaking. Where I would argue, and you don't have to agree with me by any means, where I would argue that the Democrat Party is more sort of Khrushchev-like, if you will, but nonetheless attacking the Constitution. What do you make of this?
Mark, I agree with you. I think that the Democratic Socialist candidates are just making more open and plain for us all to see what the larger Democratic Party wants to do to the Constitution. Anyway, where do they really disagree? As you pointed out, they want to defund the police. They want to impose wealth taxes. They want to abolish ICE. They want to nationalize large parts of the economy like healthcare. They want to take away people's rights to own their own private property and override the decisions you and I and 300 million Americans make every day when we choose to go to work, buy and sell by our own choice, our own freedoms. Why do they want to do that? Because they want to, impose their own judgment, their own plans about what is best for society, create some kind of utopia out of all these policies. But to do that, they have to defeat the Constitution, because the Constitution and all those structures you listed, Mark, an independent Supreme Court, differently elected houses and Senate, direct election of the president, the voting rules, and most importantly, I think the control of the states over many matters of life. This kind of decentralized government, which was the genius of the founders, is an obstacle to their desire to have centralized planning where they tell us how to lead our lives, where they replace our millions of daily decisions on what to do, what to buy, what to sell, where to go to work. They want to replace that with their vision of how we should all live. But to do that, they have to overcome the Constitution.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.